Hey guys, Mira here. If you're traveling to the United States, you'll probably be relying on mobile data for just about everything. Navigation, rideshare apps, messaging, and staying connected while you're out and about. And while international roaming technically works, the costs can add up very quickly. That's actually one of the reasons eSIM technology has become such a popular option for travelers, instead of swapping physical SIM cards or searching for a mobile store after landing. An eSIM lets you activate a data plan digitally right from your phone. In this video, I'm going to get into how Saily eSIM works for traveling in the United States, what the activation actually looks like step by step, and what the experience has been like using it while traveling. I've also used Saily in several different countries, so I'll share what the setup was like for me and how it performed once everything was up and running. Okay, so the US is one of the most expensive countries for roaming if you're visiting from abroad. Most carriers charge daily roaming fees, something like $10 to $15 per day. So if you're staying for a week, that can easily turn into $70 or more just for basic connectivity. Airport SIM cards are another option, but they're often overpriced and require you to deal with kiosks after a long flight when you're exhausted and just want to get to your hotel. Public Wi-Fi isn't always reliable and not always secure, especially in airports, hotels, and busy city areas. So instead of paying per day for roaming, an eSIM lets you pay once for a set amount of data and stay connected immediately. I've been using Saily for about 2 years now, and it's been consistently reliable for me. When I first started using it, coverage was available in around 150 countries. Since then, they've expanded quite a bit and added a lot more destinations along with new plan options. What's been nice for me is that it hasn't just worked on one trip. I've used it across multiple countries, and the experience has stayed pretty consistent every time. Now, before getting started with Saily for your trip to the US, you want to double check that your phone supports eSIMs. Most newer phones do, so it's really not a big deal, but if you're not sure, it's worth double checking, which you can do inside the app. After that, the actual setup takes only a few minutes. The app walks you through the installation step by step, so you really don't have to guess where anything is in your phone settings. You download the app, choose your plan, and install the eSIM on your phone. There's no physical SIM card and nothing you have to take in and out of your phone, which, if you've ever used an earring to open that SIM tray, you know how annoying it can be since, who carries around that little SIM tray tool? Now, I always recommend setting everything up before you leave your house while you're still at home and have a good Wi-Fi connection. So that way, once you land in the United States, you turn off airplane mode and it connects automatically to the local network. And if you want to try Saily out, I do have a discount code. Just use the code GVUTech at checkout. That being said, in terms of the cost, Saily offers several prepaid data plans for the US, depending on how much data you need and how long you're staying for. You've got options starting at just around $4 for 1 gigabyte, which is great for short trips or light use. If you need more breathing room, 3 gigabytes or 5 gigabyte plans are popular and still super affordable. If you use a lot of data, like for video calls, streaming, or road trip navigation, the 10 gigabyte and 20 gigabyte plans are a great option as well. There's even unlimited plans if you're planning a longer stay or don't want to think about limits at all. They've recently added this new plan called Ultra, which is more of a subscription costing about $55 a month. It includes monthly global data plus some added perks, and it's really built for digital nomads or people who travel very frequently and don't want to keep buying separate plans for every country. Just keep in mind that Saily is data only, so if you still make regular phone calls or send SMS texts, you'll need to use apps like WhatsApp, FaceTime, or Telegram instead. I personally use those apps day to day, so to me it's not a big deal, but it's still something to be aware of. Another thing I want to mention is that because Saily is built by Nord Security, the same team behind NordVPN, what that really means is, while Saily is mainly focused on giving you mobile data when you travel, it also comes with some built-in privacy and security features that most other eSIM providers just don't include. For example, it includes an ad blocker that helps limit ads and tracking scripts while you browse. And because ads and trackers use data, blocking them can actually help you save some of your data as well, which is pretty useful when you're on a limited plan. There's also something called web protection, which is designed to block malicious websites and limit trackers before they even load. So if you're using public Wi-Fi in an airport, hotel, or cafe, it adds an extra layer of protection in the background. Another feature I personally love is the virtual location option. Saily supports over 115 virtual locations that you can switch between inside the app. It basically works like a mini VPN, so whenever I'm traveling and want to watch a show from back at home that isn't available in the country I'm visiting, I can just switch my location and still access it, as long as it covers one of those locations. And the nice part is, all this runs in the background. You don't have to constantly turn things on and off or manage complicated settings. It's just built into the service. That's something most travel eSIMs simply don't include. Saily has also recently introduced a business dashboard option for teams, so if you manage remote employees or a traveling team, you can assign, monitor, and manage eSIM plans from the central dashboard. The app even gives you a heads up when you've used about 80% of your data, which I found really helpful on longer trips. It just makes it easier to stay ahead of things without checking it manually. And if you have any questions with the setup or need any help, there is a 24/7 live chat right in the app, and they've been helpful whenever I've needed them, which was in one of my first trips when I just started with them. In major US cities like New York, LA, Miami, and Chicago, coverage is strong across most urban areas. Speeds are fast enough for navigation, rideshare apps, social media, video calls, and streaming. Since it connects to established local networks, you're not relying on unstable public Wi-Fi. You land, you connect, and it just works. To wrap it up, if you're traveling to the United States and want to avoid expensive roaming fees, setting up an eSIM before you leave is one of the easiest decisions you can make. Instead of paying daily carrier charges, you get predictable pricing, simple setup, and immediate connectivity the moment you land. For me, Saily has been one of the simplest ways to stay connected while traveling. The setup is quick, the plans are straightforward, and it's worked reliably whenever I've used it. And just as a reminder, if you're thinking about trying Saily out, I've got an extra discount for you. Just use the code GVUTech at checkout when downloading the Saily app or visiting Saily's website. Of course, if you've got any questions or suggestions, feel free to drop them down in the comment section, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching, safe travels, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.